Hey everybody, it's Kevin from 3D Printed Props. In today's video, we are going to be working on the doors to the DeLorean that we've been building. This has been such a fun project. I am loving putting this thing together. Okay, so I've been making great progress on the body of the car. That video is going to be out next week, and it was so fiddly and so tedious, but fun. I just needed a simpler project, so I decided to start the doors, which I hadn't worked on. So in this video, we're going to be going over sanding, painting, how I use this great new tool Fantic sent me, the Fantic F2 Master rotary tool. With it, I was able to get into all the little nooks and crannies that I would never have been able to fit some of these pieces in. Printer tolerances sometimes, you know, it's a little too big, but with this tool, I was able to pick the right size Dremel sort of bit, the right size Fantic bit, and get in there in really tight areas that sometimes actually with a Dremel I can't get in because the tool's too big. This thing's like a pen, and I can control the power a lot better. So I was able to get in there and really create the openings I needed to get these little pieces parts in. So there's a few things I haven't finished with this yet, which is adding the electronics into it. I need to figure out how to get the wire through this channel. It's a little thin, but other than that, I am super happy with how these doors came out. So let's go ahead behind the fake wall and get to it. And if you're interested in picking up one of these Fantic rotary tools, I loved it. I'm gonna use this in probably every resin build I use to clear out spaces and fit pieces together, so I'm loving it. You can get it with the link below at 36% off. It is an affiliate link. If you buy it, I get a couple dollars and I buy more stuff to build stuff. So go ahead and check that out. So the first thing I need to do is really look at this body and see what I need to take care of. Now, why I was really excited to get this from Fantic is I need to sand some really fine areas to fit in some of these extra pieces parts for the DeLorean doors. And it's hard to get in there with sandpaper, and sometimes the Dremel is a little too aggressive, where with this, I can choose the different, sanding elements I need. And you can see I can get right in there and get those to fit as long as I choose the right one. And boom, it fits right in. So this was the complication with this door. There's so many little bits and pieces that have got to go in here, just like the rest of the DeLorean. You have to sort of plan ahead in what you're doing in stages. Now, unlike the car body itself, you can go back and see those videos. At least this time I realized I'm going to do all this sanding and fitting before I have it, completely painted, because this way I'm not getting fingerprints on everything and I'm not ruining the paint job. So this is actually making a lot more sense. So I was able to get in there with that Fantic tool and get that clean. Now we're going to go all the way up to a 600, starting at I think 220, and get this a nice mirror sort of glassy look. It's not going to be perfect, and neither was the original car, but it's going to look pretty darn good. Now you've got all this dust. I take it and wash it with soap and water with a toothbrush in the sink to get it nice and clean and let it dry. And there you go. Look at that chromy look. If you want to see all the steps in this, go ahead and take a look at the first video in the series where I do the body and I go over all the paints and how I paint that. Now I've masked some stuff off here with some tape to paint it, and I love how that area works. You get some nice contrast with that gray. And now we're just going to go ahead and slide these pieces in. We know they're going to fit because we dry tested them, and we use the sander to make the space big enough for things to fit. Like I couldn't fit that in there before because the tolerances just weren't there. Put that piece in. And I actually forgot to record me gluing it, but it's of course glued and put in. This is the rearview mirror, and the hole was just not big enough. So again, the little tool just made it so that's going to fit right on there. And now we're going to do the window. So I've got this clear film. Again, everything I use from this will be in the description below. I taped it on to the clear acetate, cut it out. Then I'm using this Tester's clear cement. It's for clear pieces. I put a small bead around the inside of that window and went ahead and just gently fit it in there till it was touching the glue, and I knew it was solid enough, and it looks pretty cool. It looks like it's a window, I guess. And now we're going to put in some more details. This little guy here, and with a little bit of glue tap it in there, and it's the details that make this thing start looking just so cool. And I just think that looks really sharp. And then I noticed in the references that this is black, the little key slot here. So we're going to give this black with this teeny tiny little paintbrush. I love these things. You need tiny sometimes. Realized I had too much paint in there. I was sort of covering up the slot for the key, so I just dabbed it off and then went back and touched up where I took too much paint off. Sometimes you make a mistake. You just figure out how to make it work. And there it is. Now, I still need to figure out how to get that wire through because there is a light at the bottom of the door, but that space is really tight. I will figure it out. And then this piece goes on this here, and I'm going to wait until I have the car, you know, the doors on there so I can line everything up properly. But I'm super, super happy with how this turned out. So is the paint job perfect? Is it like glossy? And it's pretty darn good. I'm actually quite pleased with my airbrushing skills have gotten a lot better, but some of the scratching shows, like where I might not have hit it enough with the 600 sandpaper. But you know what? That's what the car looks like. Doc Brown didn't have a perfect car, and my DeLorean isn't going to be perfect either because there's no such thing. But it's going to look like a DeLorean. It's going to look like Doc Brown's car, and it's going to look cool on my shelf, and that's all I care about. So go ahead and check out these files. Links are below. Amazing, amazing Facebook group. Check that out if you bought these and you're working on it. You get a lot of tips and tricks there. Just a fantastic community. Also, don't forget, check out the Fantic rotary tool. I love this thing. I will be using it more and more. Again, 36% off on the link below, so check that out. Now, next week, I will be coming out with a new body video, and I have done a lot to that. And I'm really excited to show that off. So please like and subscribe, hit that little bell so you know when it comes out. When I look at my analytics, I notice that 97% of my traffic or my views are from people who aren't subscribed. Just hit the little button. Helps out the channel. And why not? It takes 2 seconds. You're watching the video, hit that little like button. All right, guys, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.